Trans Joy's resistance is like, that goes hard. That's really cool.
When I was coming out, I felt like being trans was something that I had to battle. I found no joy in it. When the term gender euphoria started appearing more and more, I was struck because it had never occurred to me to prioritize happiness within my transness. I was moved to find and to capture this beautiful phenomenon. I wanted trans joy to be known, an example to us that, despite everything, we are here.
I love when I catch myself laughing in public spaces and I know that people are looking at me. I'm like, maybe I start laughing even harder. It just really feels like a disruptive act, like a revolution of like, yeah, I'm trans and I'm happy. Like disruption.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I feel like I started to fully explore gender when I came to Rutgers in 2018. I was sitting in community college. The sun was coming in through a window, and I was looking at the hair on my arm. In high school, I used to shave like all bits of hair off my body, including my arms and etc. And in that moment, I looked at it and I remember going, I don't know, that isn't that bad. I kind of like it, and maybe I'd like more. I don't know why that little moment was so big, but it was, because that truly is what made me start going like, maybe I should start exploring things.
I first realized that I was trans back in middle school. Honestly, I think the most gender euphoria I have, especially when I was younger, was just dressing the way I wanted to dress. I remember this one time in middle school where there was like a twin day spirit day. And then me and Aaron wore like matching, like inverted outfits. And that felt very euphoric to me. I thought we were very cute, handsome little guys.
Yeah.
The first thing that came to me for some reason was Hunter Schafer. In the show Euphoria, there was a scene where she was with Rue and Hunter Schafer's bulge was clear. And I think that was a intentional choice, because for me it was like, she's so soft and femme, and like the bulge is also like soft and fat. Like it was just, I love that.
I had this really good experience walking here. You know, I was wearing my dress, and I was, my hair had just washed last night, and I was just being all pretty walking down the street, and I was like, this feels good. And so I had like that sensation of euphoria. Sometimes I'll experience euphoria from strangers, but it doesn't matter to me so much how strangers perceive me. My goal is not to look cis. My goal is to look like me.
Before knowing I was trans, there were moments of gender euphoria too without me noticing. And it comes around Halloween, which is why it's like my favorite holiday. I always dressed as like a masculine character, and I feel like those moments were like big moments of gender euphoria without me realizing that it was there.
I think that was drag for me, was those moments of feeling that gender euphoria and that freedom and that expression, and thinking, oh, I could do this all the time, every day. Like, ah! And when I think that puzzle clicked in my head, that's when I realized, yeah, it was about time I started hormones. And for me, I think a lot of the medical transition ended up coming into fruition more psychologically. I've been able to tap into my emotions a lot more, which has been lovely. I feel like I'm able to experience emotions more saliently and also more authentically.
I don't think I've ever been able to like cry the way I cry. I've had like a couple of like really good cries in the last like few months, and it feels like much easier to feel how I'm supposed to feel.
When I started tea, I remember feeling like suddenly I had access to so many more emotions than I had before. But I felt anger in a way that I had never before, but in I think a really good way for me as a person. Mm-hmm. And I just felt like access to that open up, and I think that that's a good thing.
It feels like alignment. It does feel
like alignment, yeah.
You just wake up and you're yourself. Like you don't have, it doesn't take as much thought to navigate the world.
All I ever really wanted was just to be comfortable. I don't want to like think so hard about all these other factors and whatnot. I just want to like exist.
As trans people, we've been waiting our whole lives to live in the bodies and in the expressions that we'd like, and because of the deprivation that we've experienced our whole lives up until the point of our transitions, whatever that shows up as, that feeling of euphoria is, in my opinion, so much more salient because we've had to go through the experience of not feeling euphoria, right?
Euphoria comes from connecting with other trans women trans people in general. And like we really have this understanding of each other's experiences, this real connection, and it's just so peaceful. It's like familial, like this real connection of like pain, yes, but also like joy and identity, and like a real understanding of how our identities work.
If I'm in a group that's just fully trans, I always get a little moment of like, whoa, we're all trans and we're all doing this, and it's like whatever societal pressures that are like constantly given to us, it just doesn't matter in that moment. Like we're just doing this and we're just happy all together, and it's just sweet, and I love that.
I had a fun experience doing the Trans Youth Forum with High Tops in Princeton, and all of the other youth that were there were much younger than me, and it was just so beautiful, you know, just to see them, you know, being so proud of who they are.
Yeah.
But I love being a role model. I really am proud that people can reach out to me if they're having issues. We look at like trans elders in like the same way of like, oh, like look at how far you've come. Like there's hope that like I can make it to where you're at. And I like being that for like younger people, for sure.
Ultimately, what it came down to, in order to kind of lead to the point of happiness and euphoria, was admitting to myself that I was who I really was. And it sounds very simple, but it was an incredibly difficult decision, or place to get to, I guess. Removing the denial, coming to that place of who am I authentically, and where is that child in me who was very effeminate and very, very expressive in who I was, who had to be shut down and who had to be told that that was not the right thing to do. And once that healing had done, and I did a lot of that unlearning and relearning, I think that's what really helped then kind of start that trajectory of, okay, now that I know my more authentic self and I hear my true voice, I can start this process now with really a strong sense of this is right, this is for me, and that this will lead to happiness.
I think one of the biggest decisions I had to make was the decision to accept being trans and like actually moving forward with it. That's like the first step, but I feel like it's the biggest step. It's like incredibly hard because it's scary. It's like the minute you come out, everything changes. And I definitely knew that was going to be the case with my family. And I didn't want things to change.
The culture of my family and like their community in my hometown is very transphobic. So that's like a very big decision for me, was to present how I want to present no matter what. And I try to do that like all the time wherever I go. I have to be that way. I can't hide. It's more important for me to just be myself and for other people to see that. Again, what they choose to do with what they see is their problem, but I'm not going to give them anything less than 100% of what I am.
I think at the end of the day, I've always seeked out community. I've always been a person that like loves people and being part of things. And so even though I knew this wild change family-wise was coming, I knew that I would find like happiness and community in other ways that would be able to push me through that.
It just feels like now I'm more in love with change. Like you just accept change and kind of
Yes.
follow your instincts. You just feel freer to, whereas before change or there was like sort of like a control freakness to existing before that. Now you're just like, I'm already like trans and out. Like I'm gonna put a septum in and I'm gonna get a tattoo and like I'm just gonna do all sorts of different things.
The reason I came out was because of Miles Morales, like the Spider-Man movie, because he says it's all a leap of faith, and that like moved me for some reason. I was like, oh my god, it is just a leap of faith. Like I can't plan everything. I have no idea what they're gonna do. It's just a leap of faith. I just have to do it. And so I came out on my 21st birthday.
What do I find beautiful about being trans? So many things. I think what immediately comes to mind is our transgressiveness. I think it's, the creativity that we put into our expression and into our identities. I think our courage is immensely beautiful.
Like our strength and our patience and our drive and our choice and kind of unapologeticness of choice. We are the trendsetters. We're the trailblazers.
I think being trans is so beautiful. I think everything about being trans is beautiful because I feel like it takes so much love for self and courage and bravery to be trans that from the trans people I've experienced and from my own experience of it, it makes you such a better lover. Like you are so much more capable of love for other people because you've worked so hard to love yourself. And I just think that's the most beautiful thing. I really do.
I've always felt that like I have this like love inside of me. And a lot of trans people have that love. We have that love for ourselves that carries us through things and goes against so much of what we're expected to feel. And that's really beautiful. I think it's really beautiful that I push through everything to be myself and to dress how I want to and to act how I want to and to talk how I want to and to talk to whom I want to. It's not really about what you're given. Like, we're all given stuff and we deal with it. And like if you identify your beauty with something that's so different from what you're given, that means you have to create yourself. You have to dream yourself into existence. And dreams, when the dreams start coming true, that's really beautiful.
Trans joy is resistance is such a powerful statement. I think to be happy is to be free. The powers that be want us to fail.
Yeah.
So if we're happy, then, they're not doing what they want to do.
Yeah.
People just don't want to see trans people like succeed and be happy and exist because, well, I don't know. They have their reasons. They all suck, all those reasons, but they just don't want to see it. And so it's like, as a trans person, just existing is already resistance. Humans just keep persevering, and trans people are like a great example of that.
Political entities have tried to like shoot us down because they know there's so much power in us, that they're afraid that we're gonna inspire other people to like break the status quo. But I love continuing to show up and being present in my life, in front of people that feel like you should not be this happy after all of these things that have happened to you, yet still here you are and you're smiling.
When you flash that smile, when you do experience authentic joy that isn't about being burdened by everything that is put upon us, that it, can really shatter people's understandings. And then through that, like Luz was saying earlier, it makes people kind of step back and think, okay, I need to take this home and reflect on this. And that's what I kind of aim to do in my day-to-day, is especially when I am very out in who I am. Completely shifting that narrative of like, oh wow, this person's like really cool who they are and they're embodied and they love being trans. Like, what?
I feel it when I walk into a room that I change the way the room is working because I am so embodied in myself and in like the truth of who I am, and daring to live outside of like the norms also dares the work I do to exist outside of the way things are. And I think that's really important. And like, I don't know, I just think if that exists, then the world moves on, the world gets better.
Am I proud of being trans? Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Without being trans, I would not be the person I am today.
Mm-hmm. I would say that I haven't been a very present person for most of my life. But recently, like as of a few years ago, I really have, and I think that has a lot to do with transitioning. And so I feel like it's like a gift that I give myself to be present and to take in people and things and the sun and the windows and the the green on the trees, and like that stuff is so beautiful.